any
You have to
so
press OK there. It's fun. Is it
yeah,
appearing on your screen?
yes,
Just press OK. Yeah.
yes. Okay. So you have anything special prepared, or we
No,
discuss a little
nothing.
bit?
I just want. He just told me that you had some questions last time, but you are not able to ask because
Hmm.
he was asking one question after the other. And
Yeah.
so you wanted a session for question and answer. So I don't have anything, this thing. So I just want to know if you have any doubts so that I can clarify from the perspective of Rasopasana, which I'm developing.
Okay. Well, to be sincere, I don't remember what were the questions in my mind from the last time, but we can discuss a little bit. Uh, as you know, we are from ISKCON, so Prabhupada line, which you probably know. Uh,
Yeah, I
and
started my spiritual journey with ISKCON.
okay.
Any modern Indian will know about spirituality through ISKCON only, two modern
Hmm.
institutions. Even though I am born in a Sri Vaishnava family, and all my uncles are very good scholars in Vyakarana, Mimamsa, Sahitya, and all those things. Because I'm a modern educated person, I did my engineering and PhD. Uh,
Hmm.
so my attraction will be for these modern institutions, not for the traditional institutions. So I started
Hmm.
ISKCON, and then I moved on to Shastras. I started
Okay.
studying. I started studying that, understanding that unless you study Shastra, all these many of the questions which arise will not be clarified.
Hmm.
So after I started studying a little bit of Shastra and all those things, many of the devotees from ISKCON, especially the GBC, they started clarifying their. I did Bhakti Shastra in Vrindavan.
Hmm.
So when I was doing Bhakti Shastri, Dhanurdhar Goswami and Bhurijan Prabhu, all these were faculty there. So they were struggling with certain fundamental questions which their students raise. Even
Hmm.
though I did Bhakti Shastri, after that I went to Shastra. So when I was in Vrindavan, if they see me anywhere, they used to call me and ask questions. That one
Hmm.
of my disciples have left ISKCON and has gone to this Rasik Sampradayas, Swami Haridasi Sampradaya, and she is saying that you will never get bhakti through sadhana. It is kripaika sadhyaha. See, if
Hmm.
is it right? So I said, yes. If it is given only by kripa, then why Prabhupada gave so much of sadhana for us? So these kinds of questions come to them. So they
Hmm.
call me and ask me. But after that, I went in a totally other direction. So we lost touch. So
Okay.
my acquaintances with ISKCON, and I know most of them. I know Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and so many other people.
Hmm. Yeah, that's one of the questions I would put, because I'm around for 30 years plus in ISKCON, and I noticed that devotees are doing the sadhana, Vaidhi Bhakti, and so on, but I think I see a little change in them. It's too little. It's I don't see the divine love coming out of them. There's so many ego stuff going on, and
Yeah, this is one of the questions they asked me also, some of the people, because at that time, Burijan Prabhu was very upset that many Gurukula kids in Mayapur are getting engaged in all kinds of activities, as you know. There were
hmm.
controversies in ISKCON Vrindavan also.
Hmm.
Right, so he was upset that he was asking me because I come from a traditional sampradaya.
Hmm.
Is it like that in your sampradayas also? Do all these things happen and all that? So I answered him uh, in my Rasopasana lectures. You will hear also all these concepts which are there, but because they come in the context of a different topic, all these
Hmm.
points come in between. It is very difficult to absorb them or grasp them. So it is good to discuss them separately.
Hmm.
The first thing that we have to understand that if you know little bit of Freudian psychology or modern psychology, once the desire is produced, right? You have to fulfill
Okay.
it. If you don't fulfill it, it represses. You are repressing it, and it makes you neurotic.
Yeah, I agree.
And then it comes out with a more evil ways,
Yeah, for example,
which is why the kind of sinful things that people do in devotional institutions, even outside people don't do it.
mhm,
Right? You go anywhere, you read, there's a channel called something related with Moscow. Every day they post something. This guru did like that. This happened to them, and women started a Vaishnavi brigade, and they are fighting against the atrocities which are happening. And the GBC don't address them. They just try to shut you down. These kinds of things happen. It's like more evil happening in the institution than outside. Outside, when the desire is produced, there are so many possible ways of fulfilling them. Or if it is repressed, then there are it needs purgation. Whatever is repressed inside, no, it needs purgation. You understand the word purgation? It needs release.
yes.
So they release it by smoking, taking drugs, or going to rock concerts, or having physical relationships outside. Whatever is repressed, there is a possibility of releasing it everywhere. But the
Mhm,
institutions, what happens is that you are not supposed, you have to follow the four regulative principles given by Srila Prabhupada.
mhm.
So there is no, the desire is produced, there is no way you can release them. So it bottles up inside, and then you start doing all those illegal activities secretly. For
Mhm.
example, I'll give you an example. If your child likes sweet candy, like he has ruchi for sweet candy, small child, let us say,
Mhm.
and the mother is not allowing him to eat it because she thinks that if he eats more and more, he will have physical problems. So she hides it.
Mhm.
So if he has ruchi, what happens? How will he fulfill it? Either he steal it, right, or do violence and take it. Something he will do. If
Mhm.
once the desire is produced, this is what is happening in the religious institute, that either they do it secretly, or they become very violent and go for violent ways of living. But once the desire is produced, you cannot live without fulfilling it.
When is the desire produced?
Very good. That's a next question. The desire is produced when you identify yourself with the body.
Okay.
And this is why I developed this Rasopasana, because I saw all these problems in the religious institutions. So I developed this Rasopasana, in which I am explaining everything psychologically. The whole process of the experience of rasa, cultivating love, I am explaining it in a psychological model, not in the traditional model, because the modern individuals are psychological beings. They are not traditional beings,
Mhm.
right? Before the British came to India, there was Varnashrama Dharma system. So everybody was following their respective duties, which are prescribed in the Shastra. So they were living the roles. They were not acting like individuals, man, woman, like that. They were acting like husband, wife, son, father. They're playing the roles,
Mhm.
right? And after British came and we started getting modern education, from the traditional selves, we became physical selves, body we became. They made us consumers. Everybody in the
Mhm.
consumer capitalism is a consumer, whether the wife, son, husband, daughter, everybody is a consumer now in the consumer capitalism. So
Yes.
this gives you bodily knowledge, physiology, psychology, sociology, natural science. They all give you physical knowledge, because of which you identify yourself with the body. And the body has five senses. These five senses, in the Prakriti, there are five sense objects. So, what is your natural tendency? The natural tendency of the mind is to produce five sensual desires for the sense objects.
Mhm.
That is your, if you have to use the word by Freud, it's called pleasure principle. your pleasure principle is that you seek the sense pleasure of 5 sense objects through your senses. This is what you become. This is a consumer.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do all works, you study, you go for jobs, you make money just to fulfill your sensual desires. That is how you become. So to answer your question, the cause of the production of the desire happens when I identify myself with the body, and automatically my mind starts producing desire. My buddhi starts saying this is desirable. My ahankara starts saying, I think you know all this subtle body.
Yeah.
Pancha karmendriya, pancha prana,
Yes.
pancha jnanendriya, man, buddhi, ahankar. The ahankar says I am the
Yes.
body. Buddhi says this is pleasurable, and the mind desires it. And I go
Yes.
for the I use this body for the fulfillment of desire. So for the sake of kama, I start earning artha. But there is no
Yes.
dharma, which may I don't desire according to the laws of nature. For
Yes.
example, when I want to eat pizza or burger or something like that, I don't think at that time whether my body, which has certain laws of nature, can digest it or not.
Mm-hmm.
On an average, let us say I can burn only 2,000 calories per day. But when I am eating, I will not think it is more than 2,000 or less than 2,000 like that. So the desire is always against the laws of nature. So we keep
Mm-hmm.
breaking the laws of nature. Right? So wherever the desire is produced, whether I'm in the family or in the institution or in the society, if the desire is produced, it has to break the laws of nature. It can never follow the laws of nature. And the Vaidhi
Mm-hmm.
Bhakti that you are doing in ISKCON is following the laws of nature. So there is a war going on between the production of the desire, your identification with the body, and the identity that is given by Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Jiver Swarup Bhai Krishna Nityadas. There's a war going on between the dasatva and the identity, the sense, fulfiller of the desires, personal desires. And this is what exactly is Mahabharata. War between two
Mm-hmm.
selves. And the whole Gita is about how to win this war. When there is a war between my bodily identity, with which I identify, I've been identifying since eternity, and the identity given by my religious beliefs which I have acquired. And this is natural. Because I am the body, I identify myself with the body, the desire for the self-fulfillment is natural. Just as to be
Yes.
sweet is natural for sugar. And this becomes an artificial imposition on you. The Vaidhi Bhakti, the Vidhi and Nishedas which are given to you in the religious organization, they become an artificial imposition on you. They are not natural. Now, because there is a fight going on between what is natural and what is unnatural, this keeps winning. What is natural keeps winning. And this is the answer to you why in ISKCON or Gaudiya Math and all these institutions, they don't produce one single devotee. Whereas the definition of bhakti is gunarahitam, kamanarahitam, avicchinnam, pratikshana pravardhamanam. If you are in the path of bhakti, it has to be gunarahitam. Gunarahitam means it is beyond sattva-rajas-tamo. Why it is saying it is gunarahitam? Because when you are influenced by sattva-rajas-tamos, sometimes you are in the sattvic mode. You want to chant. Sometimes you're in the rajasic mode. You want to consume, sense pleasure. And sometimes you are in a tamasic mood. You want to rest. You want to lay off. You don't want to talk to, these kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
This is fluctuating in the case of three modes of nature. And when you say that bhakti is gunarahita, means that once you start the bhakti, it's not no more fluctuate. You are situated there, always situated there. Right? Kamana Rahitam means once you are engaged in bhakti, there is no question of any desire producing in you, any sensual desire. It's not possible if you are engaged in bhakti for the sensual desire to be produced in you. If a sensual desire is produced, that you want to eat something, you want to have sex, you want to go for listen to some music or the five sensual, if they are produced, it means that you have not entered into the platform of bhakti. The very definition of bhakti is guna rahitam, kamana rahitam. You don't have any desire. Why you don't have any desire? Because the very definition of bhakti, priti, in Priti Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami explains priti as preen tarpane, tasmai rochamana pravrutti. Tarpane means your only desire is to please Hari and Guru, Lord Hari and Guru. And tasmai rochamana pravrutti. You don't have zero personal desire. Your desire becomes his desire. Whatever pleases to him, that is what you will desire. So your only desire becomes to please Sri Krishna and Gurudev. So then where is the question of, you have all, 1 second, you have already sacrificed that. Please hold on. Huh? Is it all right? I will finish this sentence.
Yes, yes.
Because the thought will go away. So now, when you have entered into the bhakti and you have taken a shelter of your Guru, Adav Shraddha, Shraddha Shabde Kahe Vishwasa Sudruda Nishay, when you make a, Gauranga Mahaprabhu says, you make a firm resolution, then you reconstitute yourself from body as I am the Atma, I am the Dasa, I am the Parikara. You take this identity, Atma, Dasa and Parikara, and you have sacrificed this. You have given up this identity. When you have given up this identity, automatically you have given up the material desire. And you have taken up the desire of the Atma, which is Priti. You have taken up the desire of the Dasatva, which is to be servant of somebody whose only aim is to please his beloved. So Gunarahitam Kamanarahitam. So you can ask now.
Yeah. According to what you said, I think in ISKCON there was sincere attempt from disciples of Prabhupada to do this. To focus completely, to surrender to their guru, to the sadhana and everything. And yet many fell down, many got distracted by material desires, either left or quarreled and left, and so many things. Although they tried to do this, to come to this, like forcing themselves to raise early, to chant, and but it's like a war. It's not done with taste and ruchi and priti.
As I told you, that the moment you come into the path of bhakti, a war starts between two selves.
Yes.
Right, since eternity, you have been identifying yourself with the body, and there was only one self. That I am a consumer of my 5 desires, and you are trying for that. The force is this way, and you are taking it this way. But now the force is this way, you are taking it this way. So automatically a war starts, and you will inevitably lose a war if you are not relishing rasa right from the beginning. So having this, let me complete that whole thing. Bhakti about Guna Rahitam. It doesn't fluctuate. It stays in the same way. Kamana Rahitam, you will not have no personal desire is produced ever if you come into bhakti. And Avicchinnam. Avicchinnam means it doesn't break. It's not that sometimes I do bhakti and after that I lose interest. In the morning I do bhakti. In the afternoon I'm doing jalpa or watching TV, or it doesn't happen like that. It is Tairadhara with Avicchinnam means, for example, when you pour oil from a bottle, in Shastra they give, it's actually drops falling. But you don't see the drops, you only see a flow. So in bhakti, it's like an incessant flow which takes place. Avicchinnam. Tailadharava Devicchinnam. Not only that, it is Pradikshana Pravardhamanam. Means every second your taste keeps growing. Once you take shelter of your Guru, Sadhu Sangha, and then you start doing Bhajana Kriya, automatically what happens is that it leads to Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava and Prema. It's like a rocket launching. Once you launch, it will go and land on the moon. It will not stop anywhere between. So if you have really started bhakti, if you start like immediately when the bhakti lata is planted, it will end only when you go to Golaka. It will not deviate here and there like that, if you have properly situated. But the condition is, the second stage is the condition. Sadhu Sangha. Ado Shraddha Tato Sadhu Sangha. Your Guru has to be a sadhu, means he is to be a Shrotriya and Brahmanistha. Shrotriya means he should have heard Shastra from his Guru through the process of Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. If you have no, Govindaji is going to give a lecture on that. I'm preparing him for the second lecture. First, he's going to talk about why spirituality, and the second lecture is that what do you practice? How do you practice spirituality? So there he's going to talk about Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. Right? And he goes through that process. He does Shravana and he does Manana with the Guru, and then he gets clarified of all doubts. He has no doubt, which is when he will be able to enter into Nididhyasana, means sadhana. If you still have doubts about whether the jiva falls or not, whether we still have the swarupa, if you have all these doubts, there is no question of moving. Agnyascha ashraddhanasta sanshayatma pranashyati. You have to be absolute clear from all your doubts. And that can happen only if your guru is Shrotriya, who can clarify all doubts through Shastra. He will first make you to do Shravana. He'll give you knowledge. And whatever doubts comes, he will clarify and see to it that you have absolutely no doubts at all. And after that, he will explain what is sadhana and then engage you in sadhana. This is all missing in ISKCON and all modern religions, because their only focus is to, like any capitalist, their only focus is to spread everywhere. Like you create a bulb, you want every house have a bulb. You create a laptop, you want to sell it to everybody. So it's like it becomes like any capitalist institution where you make bhakti as a commodity and you want to sell it to everybody. It doesn't happen like that. First of all, when a guru is teaching to a disciple, it's the duty of the guru to see to it that he grasps the knowledge possibly, perfectly, so that he can be engaged. And first, when he's situated and he experiences that, then only he can give it to others. No, if I don't experience any rasa, how can I teach to somebody? If I myself have so many doubts, what prachar can I do? So this is the biggest blunder that takes place in these modern religious organizations. They inherit all the qualities of the capitalism. Oh, I have a commodity. Now let me conquer the whole world with this commodity. And you don't produce one person who is realized, because their focus is not on sadhana. Their focus is on conquering. Like British said, no, I went, I saw, I conquered. It becomes like that. So it has to be, you have this sadhu sangha. The sadhu means one is a shrotriya, means he has studied shastra properly. Through the process of shramana, manana, he's clarified all his doubts. Then he's engaged in sadhana, and then he's realized that rasa. That is sadhu. And then sangha. Sadhu sangha, two words are there, no? Ado shraddha, tato sadhu sangha. Sadhu means a shrotriya brahmanishta guru. Not anybody who learns 35 shlokas sticked by Prabhupada. Manmana bhav madbhakto madhyajana mam namaskuru. Sarvadharman paritya mame kam sharanam vraja. And then go on to the road. That is not a guru. The guru.
Yeah, so Kanishta Bhakta is not a sadhu yet.
Yeah, so he has to realize that. He has to know. He should be able to clarify every doubt of the disciple. He himself doesn't know whether the jiva falls from there or not. He himself doesn't know whether all these people used to ask me. He himself, when the disciple is leaving him and then going to some other sampradaya and saying that you cannot get bhakti by sadhana, you can get it only by kripa, no gurus in ISKCON were able to answer her.
So what can you actually get from Avaidhi sadhana?
Nothing you can get, zero. You will just time pass, make your time pass. It doesn't take 30 years to get into rasa. It starts right from the beginning. Bhakti, in Bhagavatam it is said, Srimad Bhagavate Mahamani Krite Kimva Parerishwara Sajjo Hrujja Varujjate Kritibihi Shushruchibi Tatshanat. If you have heard properly and if you practice it, immediately in 1 second it manifests in your heart. It doesn't take any time. Parikshit Maharaj kept hearing and immediately he started doing Chintana and Pariprashna, and then he accepted all the concepts within his heart. In 7 days after the Katha is over, he is liberated. Sajjo hrujja varjate. Hrudi means heart. Sajjo means at that time. Tat kshanat means that second. The moment Guru engages in you, you start feeling it. And the nature of bhakti is that once you get that drop, release of that drop, that becomes the propelling force for you, the second drop, third drop, fourth drop, like that. It's never going to stop after the fire is lit, like that. It doesn't take, after 30 years also, you're not experiencing anything. You still have doubts. And many people are frustrated and leaving. It doesn't happen like that.
The concept in ISKCON is that you start with the sadhana and process, and gradually you come to nishta through the anartha nivritti, and it takes time, and you have to clear
No, no,
all
no,
the
no, no. It
anarthas.
starts right from the beginning. The moment Guru touches you, it starts. And then you will never look back. First of all, in ISKCON, nobody knows what is sadhana.
Yes,
You
I
understand?
mean,
So your question is valid. Your answer is valid if somebody knows what is sadhana.
can you explain what is your concept of sadhana?
Okay. So what you are doing in sadhana is that it is given by Srila Rupa Goswami himself. Seva sadhaka rupena siddha rupena chatrahi tadbhavalitsuna karya vrajalokanusarata. Have you heard this?
If you give me translation, then maybe.
This is the main sutra of sadhana. You have to know this. If you don't know this, then you are not in, you don't know what is sadhana. You know what we are trying to do in sadhana, you have to understand. What we are trying to do is that Sri Krishna in his Antaranga Shakti performs leelas with his parikaras. Sri Krishna is a personification of love. If Anando Brahmeti Vijanat, Ananda Cheva Khalvimani Bhutani Jayante, Anandena Jatani Jimanti, Anandam Prayantam Vishante. Means is a personification of Ananda. What is the kind of Ananda bliss that he is getting? He is getting Ananda from Raso Vaisaha Rasakvam Hi Evayam Labdhvanandi Bhavati. He is a Rasa Swarupa. Rasa means Rasyate Aswadyate iti Rasaha Rasayati. Means he releases Rasa and he gives to others. Have you heard Sri Krishna as being described as a blue cloud?
Yeah, the complexion of blue cloud. Yes.
Why is it compared with blue cloud?
I don't know.
It's blue in color?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No, not like that. No,
Because
that is
it's
not the case.
beautiful.
No, not even beautiful.
No?
The sun, in Indian Shastra or Indian Pauranic tradition, everything is metaphorical. It has meanings. It has a direct meaning. It has a indicated, suggested meaning also.
Okay.
How cloud is formed? When sun draws water from the ocean, and then it evaporates because of the heat, and then goes into the clouds, and slowly, drop by drop, it gets accumulated. All the vapor gets accumulated in the form of a cloud. And that cloud appears blue. Sky appears blue because it's called Raman's effect. Anything which is all pervading automatically appears blue. The water you see the water in a river, it's white. But if you see the water in ocean, it is blue. So Sri Krishna is blue because he's an all pervading entity. Anything which is Vibhu automatically appears blue. So it's a blue cloud. Now this cloud is formed when sun draws that vapor from the ocean, right? And that it is called as Jaladhara. Jaladhara cloud means the container of water. Jala means water. And it is also called as Jalada. The means the giver. It is the giver of water. It is a container of water and a giver of water. It travels from place to place and showers water on everything. And that becomes our life air. Because when the rain falls, grains come, we eat grains. So grains are our livelihood, but the water which is coming from the Akasha that also becomes our life source. Because if there is no rain, you're not going to get grains. That becomes our Jivanadhana. Similarly, this example is given, is cloud because Sri Krishna's Ahladini Shakti, Radharani, Kishori ji, is an ocean of love, unlimited ocean of love, unfathomable ocean of love. And Sri Krishna, like sun, is always drawing love from her. Right? And then he became a blue cloud. The sun, which is carrying water from the ocean, it is creating a cloud which is a container of water. But Sri Krishna, who is drawing love from Radharani, he is becoming a not container of water. He is becoming a container of ras. He is becoming a rasadhara. He is drawing love and is becoming a container of love. And then, like the cloud grows from one place to another place and distributes it, he is called Banwari, Kunj Bihari, Braj Bihari. Bihari means who roams around. So he doesn't contain himself. He roams around the Vrindavan and showers on this everybody, whatever he got, like cloud. He gives Vatsalya, showers Vatsalya rasa on mothers. He gives Sakhya rasa for all the cowhead boys. He gives Shringara rasa or Madhura rasa for gopis. So he's distributing like that, Rasadharaha. And that is why he is compared to blue cloud. It's a poetic way of saying. It's called Vyanjana Vritti in Shastra, if you know. Because they are not, all these things are not taught in you. We study all these things, Sahitya, Mimamsa, and all those things. The meaning, this is called as Artha Bhavana. You get this meaning of Krishna when you are doing Kirtan. Now you asked me, what is sadhana? In Patanjali, there is a Yoga Sutra called Tad Japas Tad Artha Bhavana. Means whatever japa you do, you should do Artha Bhavana and do it. If you don't do Artha Bhavana, if you just Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, it's like you are saying something and your mind is going here and there. There is no way your mind will be hooked onto the name you are chanting unless you relish something from it, because you are a relisher. Wherever you have ruchi, taste, because you have taste for 5 sense objects, even when you are chanting, the mind will go there only. The mind needs something to relish. Right? So,
Yes.
so now Rasopasana or sadhana, this Srila Rupa Goswami Sutra, the sadhana is that cultivation of that nectar called love from the Nama Rupa Guna Leela Dhama Parikara, which are there in the Kirtan. We say that Jai Jai Shama, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Let us say we sing this. If you are just saying like Dholak and Mridangam, it's like entertainment and jumping like eating nicely and jumping in the air till you digest it. It's becoming like that. It doesn't happen like that. You have to, when you chant the name, you should do Artha Bhavana and extract the love from it. When you extract love from it and relish it, because you are giving some relish for the mind, it will become a bumblebee. It will be focused that only. Gunarahitam Kamana, ever increasing. It will never go there. Because you are chanting and doing all these rituals without actually extracting love from all these things, all your Vaidya Bhakti is becoming dull.
Yes.
So right from the beginning, it has to be Raganuga. Raganuga means right from the beginning, it should be a means, your sadhana should be of means of extracting love from your sadhana. Nama Rupa Guna Leela. Lord Krishna has love, which he got it from Kishoriji. Extracts from Kishoriji. But when Krishna went away, where is this love? It remained in the Leelas which are described in Bhagavata Purana. It are there in Nam, Sri Krishna's name, Sham, Nilumage Sham. It is there in Rupa, Krishna's form, blue form, Tribhangi style, flute playing, It is there in Guna, Leela, Dham, Parikar. So you just listen to Bhagavata and then Krishna did like this, he killed Kamsa, he killed Putana, you say all this, but you're not extracting any love from it. So what happens? It becomes a dry thing. And because you're not giving any relish to the mind is a relisher, just remember it. Mind is a relisher. If you don't give, then it will automatically go to sense objects where it has natural ruchi. To counter that, you have to give it a higher pleasure. And Raganuga Bhakti comes. And Raganuga Bhakti is exactly that. It's not just doing Vedic chanting and all those things. Extracting. Can you come a little bit? You can. One second. Let me turn it like this. Okay. So सेवा साधक रूपेण सिद्ध रूपेण चात्रहि तद्भाव लिप्सुना कार्य व्रजलोकानुसार means the sadhana means doing seva with sadhaka deha, with siddha deha here itself, with a name, tadbhava lipsuna, with a name to cultivate the love, mood of the Brajavasis, who are called Ragatmika Bhaktis. So the Ragatmika Bhaktas have a natural love for Jugal Sarkar, with an aim to get the mood of that Ragatmika Bhakta. You practice sadhana with sadhaka deha and siddha deha. This is sadhana, not chanting, not jumping, not roaming around the temple, or not listening to Bhagavatam. Cultivating bhava with an aim to have tat bhava lipsuna. Lipsa means labdhumicha. Attain, with a desire to attain the bhava of the Ragatmika Bhakta. Brajavasis, you do seva and you do sadhana with sadhaka deha and siddha deha. I hope you understand what is missing there in ISKCON and other institutions. They just give you rituals, but they don't teach you how to cultivate love out of Nam Roop Gund Lila. And because you don't have any taste for the mind, automatically wherever it has taste, it will go. The mind needs some relish. It will go there only. It will not go there. But if you keep one drop, it will stay here only. It will not go there.
Yeah.
So when you do Bhajana Kriya, sadhana, I will explain it further what exactly is sadhana. What do you mean by cultivating love? How do you cultivate love? How do you extract love from Nam Roop Gund Lila? I will tell you. But because you mentioned Anartha Nivritti Nishtha, then I'll tell you. So when you do Bhajana Kriya, this is Bhajana Kriya. That extracting the love from your sadhana with an aim to attain the bhava that they have, cultivating that love. When you do this Bhajana Kriya, what happens is that this love which appears in your heart, it comes by demolishing your anarthas. This is the psychology of anartha. It's not like that. Automatically it will happen. It's not like that. You keep chanting, one day it will happen, or like, not one day, that second it will happen. When the prema of Sri Krishna dawns in your heart, it's like sun. When the sun comes, it removes the darkness. No, see this drop of love that you have extracted while doing sadhana from Nam Rupa Gundalila Dham Parikar, no? When it arrives, it cleanses you to the extent you have done sadhana, extracted love, to that extent it cleanses the heart and then arrives. And this cleansing of the heart is called as Anartha Nivritti. So one drop comes. Now earlier, when you started sadhana, you did not have any experience of what your guru is teaching you. But then because he was explaining philosophy nicely, it looked logical to you and you put faith at that time without having any experience. But now that one drop has come, he taught you how to extract love from Namrup. You extracted and it cleans your Antakarana Siddhi and it dawned. Now, and you relish it, it makes you blissful. And the natural resultant, Srila Rup Goswami says that you develop Swabhavika Aruchi. Swabhavika Aruchi means once one drop of prema comes into you, you develop a natural distaste for anything which is material. If you don't have any distaste, if you taste for the material things, where is the question of again going seeking them? Where is the question of falling down? So the Anartha Nivritti comes, one drop comes. Now because you have the experience now, then comes the stage of Nishtha. The Nishtha is coming, means you are firmly situated. You are firmly situated without deviating any here and there, because whatever theory you learn from the Guru, that you experience one drop. And that one drop, the nature of the mind is that if you desire something and if you don't get it, you get krodha. From kama, when the kama is not filled, you get krodha. You see kids, if they want something, And if you don't give, they immediately get very angry.
Mm-hmm.
They even start disturbing everything till you give that. It is krodha. The krodha is coming, anger is coming from unfulfilled kama. But
Mm-hmm.
the kama is fulfilled, what happens? Lobha comes. You give one candy to the child, he will say, I want more too.
Mm-hmm.
Lobha comes. Similarly, when you release one drop of prema after extracting it, then you want 2 drops. So your sadhana intensifies. Then you extract 2 drops. Then you want 4 drops. Your sadhana intensifies further. When it keeps intensifying like that, a stage will come where you want like a kid who has had candy, some new kind of chocolate mother got from, let us say, a mall. If he never tasted, but once he tasted and he developed the taste for it, he wants to eat it again and again.
Mm-hmm.
Going to school, he will eat one. He will put some in the bag. After one class, he will eat one more time. In lunch, he will take one more and eat. While coming back, he will one more. So that is how ruchi comes. Once you have taste, no, it's not that you chant prescribed rounds. No, for people, even to chant the prescribed 16 rounds is becoming a big burden for them. Somehow they do time pass and try
Yes.
to finish it. But once you get to the stage of ruchi, it will happen in such a way that your mind want to do that again and again. In the morning, you want to do it. In the afternoon, you want to do it. Before sleeping, you want to do it. As soon as you get up, you want to do it. Like the kid wants chocolate again and again.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes a stage, asakti, where you cannot live without serving your guru. We cannot live without, uh, you know, uh, chanting the name, relishing, extracting the love and drinking. You want to drink it always. It's not possible for you to give up seva and sadhana. That is the stage of asakti. And then you come to the stage of bhava that you are so engrossed in it, like a bumblebee, that nobody in the world can actually pull you off from that release, extracting and release rasa. Like a bumblebee, they give the metaphor of bumblebee, no, chataka, chakora, bumblebee. So you are so engrossed that even if it is closing in, you don't want to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So now where is that stage and where is the stage of the people in ISKCON where you are wandering around here and there, passing time without, with no taste of anything, doing prajalpa? Where is this? You should hoop like a bumblebee, totally engrossed like this.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that,
these are the
sorry.
stages which are explained, but which will happen only if you not only do those rituals, but out of those rituals you learn how to extract love from which exists in them.
Mm-hmm.
But that is sadhana. Chanting is not sadhana. Mahaprabhu talks of
Extracting.
two kinds of bhakti: sasanga bhakti, anasanga bhakti. Sasanga bhakti means doing bhakti by getting connected to Lord Krishna, which means you are trying to constantly extract rust from the source. That is called sasanga. Anasanga bhakti means you are chanting, but you are not connected to him. Your mind is in your body only. And then
Mm-hmm.
if you are doing anasanga bhakti, Mahaprabhu says, Bahujanma kare yadi shravana kirtana, tabuna paye Krishna pade premadhana. Do it unlimited times. Even then you will not get any one drop of release from Nam. If you do anasanga bhakti, you have to do sasanga bhakti. Sasanga bhakti means being connected. What do you mean by connected? Because he is a showerer of love. He is Nilamekeshama who is always showering love, continuously receiving that love from the name, extracting love. And that happens by Artha Bhavana. What I explained to you earlier, Shama means I gave so much of meaning, no? Shama is the one. Jai Jai Shama, Jai Jai Sham. Shama. Sham means blue. Shama means one who makes Nirguna Brahman into blue. A formless Brahman, she, by giving love to him, makes him blue. Means container of ras, who can distribute it everywhere. So Radharana. So what is the Artha Bhavana I am doing by this name? When I say Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sham, Shama Jai Jai Vrindavan Dham, I am giving Radharani, I am giving the meaning, Artha Bhavana it is called. To the word Shama, I am giving the meaning. She is an ocean of love. and she showers love on Sri Krishna. She gives her vapor of love to Sri Krishna, and then she makes that Nirguna. Upanishad says she's Neti Neti, he's Nirguna. Him she makes blue, means a container of rus and the giver of rus. It is because of him, Radharani, that he is Sham. So we give Artha Bhavana like that. Now who is Sham? Who is drawing this rust from everybody and showering it on all of us? And where does this happen? This Leela happens in Vrindavantam. Jai Jai Sri Vrindavantam. So all glories to Shama, who's showering that love on Sri Krishna and make him get rasik. And all glories to Krishna, who is always constantly receiving rasa and then distributing on jivas like us. And where is this Leela happening? In Vrindavan, this Jugal Leela. So now when we chant these names, Shama, Sham, and Vrindavan, when you do this kirtan, instead of enjoying Kartal and Mridanga, what we should be enjoying is that doing this Artha Bhavana. In our heart, we should imagine a Vrindavan Dham. In Vrindavan Dham, Shama is there. Shama is showering love on Sham, and then Sham is distributing to me, and then I am drinking it. Like this. You got me? This is sadhana, not saying Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Shri, 16 round times like that. That is not sadhana. Extracting love from that. To give you an example, I often give the example. Have you seen the sugar canes in India? They put in a machine. Sugar cane has nectarian juice. But you have to extract and drink it, no? On its own, it will not go. So you put it in a machine and you extract it like this, do it like this. And all the nectar from the sugar cane comes out in a container. He pours you into your glass and you drink it. Like that, no? So sadhana is that. The nama has nectar, prema. With your buddhi, which is a machine, you have to extract the love by doing artha bhavana, by giving meaning to that name, like I gave you just now. Extract love. This is what is that saying, Seva sadhaka rupena siddha rupena chatrehe. Tadbhava, with a name to attain. Always cultivating the bhava of the ragatmika bhaktis, which is there in the name. Right? And then so you extract with your buddhi through artha bhavana. I hope you understood the meaning of artha bhavana. Artha means meaning. Bhavana means doing the bhavana of the meaning which is there in the nama, rupa, guna, lila, dhampa.
Which is emotion ultimately.
So that meaning which is there, like sugarcane juice, when you extract, you pour in the glass and drink, no? You extract that love from your buddhi and then it comes into the hearts and converts into bhava, emotion, prema. And then you drink it. That is, you got the point, no? What is sadhana?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I can describe if I got it right. For example, I was visiting recently Vrindavan and I found Gopinath temple, Gopinath deity is there. Like I'm specially attracted to this place and this deity. And when I chant there is flowing this emotional state towards him and back. And I found something, I think this is Artha Bhavana, but it's hard for me to say it, like a manual how to do it.
Then that has to, if you know how to do it consciously, then what happens is that you are doing it every second. It's not that it is happening only when you are with the Gopinath temple, but when you go back to Slovenia, again you are in the normal state. It should not happen like that. If you know what is sadhana, you will do it every second. Tailadharada vichinam, like a oil drops which appear like, it should happen always. Not when you're standing in front of a temple or watching some duties like that.
Yes.
It should happen round the clock. You should be engrossed round the clock in that state. And that happens if you know what is sadhana and if you do sadhana. And that sadhana is not possible by you. This is what that Dhanodhar Swami's disciple was saying. You cannot get this on your own because your mind is material. And the prema is divya vastu, aprakrita, non-material, transmaterial. With mind you cannot get prema because it is beyond that, no? Mind can only take you here in these 14 worlds. It cannot take you to the spiritual world. It's a different matter altogether. What you're doing is sadhana. With sadhana, you can get sadhya. Sadhya, if you remember last time I told, when we have first satsang, with mud, you can make a pot. That is also material. This is sadhana. With mud, you do some kriya and then becomes a pot. Or when you cook rice, it becomes grains, it becomes rice. Or with vegetables, you can cook a curry. So that curry is called as sadhya. All the activity that you are doing is called as sadhana. That is also material, this is also material. With a material sadhana, you cannot produce something spiritual, because spiritual is not a sadhya vastu, it is a siddha vastu. Siddha means it's not prepared by something, it always exists. So what always exists cannot be produced by your sadhana. So your sadhana will not work. Your sadhana can only do antakarana shuddhi, purify. Instead of putting here, if you put it there, your heart gets clean. But that prema has to be given by your guru to you. When you do sadhana, he is the one who is giving that prema to you. That is why you should always take the shelter of a Rasik Guru, not an ordinary Guru, who himself is confused, who himself is doubtful, who himself doesn't know anything, what is sadhana, who himself is asking, do you get by practicing all these things or do you get by mercy? If you get by mercy, why are you doing all this sadhana? If Guru himself is asking questions, what can he give it to the disciple? So the Guru has to be a Rasik Guru, and then you have to surrender to him absolutely. Sangha, he should be a sadhu, Rasik Guru, who is the relisher of love. Then only he can give you love. Then the disciple has to do Sangha, means he should give up his independent identity, independent desire, and make his desire as a desire, personal desire, and then do sadhana the way he wants you to do, the way he teaches you. So only when these two qualifications are fulfilled, bhakti sadhana will start. When your guru is a rasik, relisher of love, and you offer yourself to him completely and have no any desire for yourself. If any one of these fails, zero. All your sadhana becomes 0 out of 100.
Hello, yes.
And this is where everybody is failing.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were taught that this Bharat Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam, he was on the level of Bhava and he fell down from that level. This doesn't make sense from your point of view.
I'll tell you how it happened.
Yeah.
You know, once you start bhakti, you take shelter of a Rasik Guru, and then you give your heart completely to your Guru, your sadhana starts. And once you start it, because you have given yourself completely to your Guru, it will grow from Bhajana Kriya to Anartha Nivrit, to Nishtha, to Ruchi, to Asakti, to the Bhava, and then finally to Prema. It will not stop at all. But there is a but in this. You have to be very careful, because as I told you, if you are not connected and if you leave 1 second gap like this, Maya comes in between. And when Maya comes, it makes you to forget that you are a servant of your Guru, and it gives you an alternate knowledge that I am the body. A personal desire is produced. As a devotee, what is the definition of devotee I gave you just now? Guru's ruchi is my ruchi. Why are you making Guru's ruchi as your ruchi? Because the relish of my ruchi. For example, the child has a ruchi for taste for sugar candy. When he consumes the object of his ruchi, it gives him pleasure. In Narada Bhakti Sutra, Sage Narada says, Priti means Tatsukhe Sukhitvam. Taking pleasure in the pleasure of your Guru. How can you take pleasure in the pleasure of Guru? You have to understand what is the meaning of pleasure. What is the meaning of pleasure? What is it that giving pleasure to that child? It is the sugar candy. Why sugar candy is giving that pleasure to the child? Because he has taste for it. So now what is sukham? What is happiness? Happiness is the fulfillment of my ruchi for something. If I have taste for something, and if I get the fulfillment of that ruchi, I become happy. Now bhakti means to give happiness, pleasure to Sri Krishna and Guruji, Gurudev. And what is pleasure? The release of ruchi. So now how you can give pleasure to your Guru? By making his ruchi as your ruchi. And you should constantly stay in that role. His ruchi is my ruchi. I should always act according to his ruchi and give pleasure, thus give him pleasure. But even for 1 second at the stage of attaining bhava, for 1 second, if you are careless, right? And from bhava, third, you can fall down. In 1 second, like a rubber band, no, you pull it like this. And if you leave it, no, it comes in 1 second here. All of a sudden, it happens like that. So, Srila Rupa Goswami says the one thing that you have to be careful in this, that aparad, it's called as aparad. Aparad means causing displeasure to your Guru. How do you cause displeasure to your Guru? When you act against his ruchi. When will you act against his ruchi? When you act according to your own ruchi. When will you act according to your own ruchi? When you identify yourself as the body. When will you act according to your Guru's ruchi? You always remain in that dasatva. For 1 split second, if you move from that dasatva and give a gap like this, Maya, it will come in. And makes you to forget that I am dasa, and it makes you to feel that I am this body. And then because you are thinking of your body, your ruchi is produced, and you try to fulfill your ruchi, not Guru's ruchi. Then aparadha takes place, you fall down. So and there is no prayaschitta for that. If you know a little bit of Veda and all this, no? In Veda, Brahmana has to do various kinds of activities. Wife has to do various kinds of activities, duties, do's and don'ts. They're called Vidhi Nisheda. Kshatriya has Vidhi Nisheda. Brahmachari has Vidhi Nisheda, right? If something goes wrong in that Vidhi Nisheda, then there is prayaschitta. For example, they are doing a yajna, and they have all Brahmins should hold, Ritvik should hold their hands and then go around the Vedi like this. And when they are doing, suddenly the hand slips from one Brahmana to another. And Veda says you have to hold this hand till that ritual is over. But because of some carelessness, the hand became loose. Then it says take a cow and let it walk for 7 steps. Wherever the cow puts 7 steps, make another Vedi and do this particular yajna. Then prayaschitta happens, and then you can go back and continue that ritual, whatever you're doing. So in Karma Kanda, if a mistake happens because of your carelessness, it quite happens. It happens to anybody, everybody, the Maya Baddha Jiva. There is prayaschitta, means by doing this you can purify yourself. But in the case of bhakti, there is no prayaschitta, because your very position, identification is that I am a dasa. Dasa means the one who gives pleasure to his Guru, which happens when you make his ruchi as your ruchi by giving up your ruchi. That is what is called surrender. You surrender, and you cannot move away from and then dishonor him even for 1 second. So then that is how they fall down if they make any mistake. Even up to the stage of bhava, you go there and you fall down. But if you are careful, then from bhava means it's a ray of the sun of prema. Then when Antakarana Shuddhi takes place completely, then your Gurudev, that Rasik Guru, will give you prema along with a spiritual body. And then this body dissolves. When Antakarana Shuddhi means cleansing of vasanas in the Karana Sharira, and cleansing of Ragadvesha, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madhama, Acharya in Sukshma Sharira. So when the Kama, Krodha, when all the vasanas are cleaned, and this Karana Sharira is made up of vasanas. So when all vasanas are cleaned, it has no existence, so it falls down in matter. It merges into the matter. And then when Kama, Krodha, Lobha are cleansed, the mind is made up of Kama, Krodha. So when this is cleansed, then it has also mind also, it also dissolves into the matter. Automatically the physical body goes away. What remains is Atma. To that pure Atma, liberated Atma, Guruji gives us Sthai Bhava or Mamatva or Priti. And that Priti exists in a body. So when he gives you a Manjari Bhava or Sakhi Bhava, whatever it is, form, which has Prema in it. After all, Antakarana Shuddhi takes place. But till that time, till you become totally free from your vasanas and kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madama, acharya, you have to be very alert. Always focus on your mind on Guruji. Surrender yourself and depending, because you cannot do as a Mayabadha Jiva, always depend on his mercy. Don't depend on your own sadhana. Your own sadhana will not take you anywhere. Your mind can take you only here. All that comes in the science which I am teaching. So you become very dina. Srila Rupa Goswami says, what is the marker of one's growth? How do you know somebody is growing in spirituality? Right?
Dina.
Dinatva. Dinatva means not like in ISKCON, Pamho. Please accept my hand. That is not Dinatva. Dinatva is to realize that I have no capacity to relish love or cultivate love, relish love. It's a transcendental entity. I am a material entity. So I am totally dependent on Guru. I am a helpless person. I have no bala. I have no sadhana. I have no basis also. To launch a rocket, you need a basis. I don't have no... Prema can be situated only in Atma. But I am doing seva with Man. It cannot contain. It cannot be the base for Prema. Atma can be the base for Prema. So neither I have a base, neither I have a strength to do sadhana, because Maya is beating me left and right always. Sometimes it is taking me here, sometimes it, like even Arjuna said, Chanchalam me mana Krishna pramati balavadrunam tasyaham nigraham manye vayuriva sudushkram. I don't have the strength to combat this wind which is blowing so fast on me. I will be driven away somewhere. So I don't have strength, I don't have basis, adhara, right? I don't have the capacity to do sadhana. Mind takes me here, it doesn't take me there. So in realizing that, you depend on the mercy of Guru always. Oh my Gurudev, I cannot do sadhana on myself. Please give me the strength. Please pass on the strength to me, with which I will be able to do. With your kripa I can do. This kripa yachana is bhakti. Begging for the mercy of Gurudev. And kirtan should be done not like entertainment, but with that mood of kripa yachana. Tears in your eyes, realizing your helplessness, and then depending on the kripa of Kishorji or Thakurji or Gurudev. When you depend on him, you will not fall down. If you depend on him, sooner or later you will fall down. So that is dinata. Dinata is not accept, please accept my, that is not dinata. Dinata means to realize I am helpless and then start depending. So how do you know that somebody is progressing? The more he is progressing in sadhana, the more he realizes that all this is happening because of the mercy of Guru. It's not happening because I am chanting 16 rounds. Because I am studying Bhagavad, it's not happening on my strength. It is happening on instant. I gave you that example that wood can never burn anything. But if it gets that power to burn from when it is put in the fire, the energy which flows from fire to the wood, with that it can burn. My mind can never do sadhana. The spiritual energy which my Gurudev, when I become Dina, depend on him, when he gives showers on me, with that strength I will be able to do sadhana. I can grasp the knowledge. So even at the stage of grasping knowledge, I need Guru's mercy. Even at the stage of, which is why people are getting still doubts. Even after staying in Bhakti for 40 years, they still have doubts. Which means that there is nobody to energize them with clarity in Tattva. It's not flowing from Guru. Because the Guru doesn't have anything in bank balance. So if he gives check to you, nothing will be transferred into your bank. So he transfers Tattva Jnana to you, he transfers sadhana to you, and when you do sadhana, antakarana takes place, he transfers prema to you. At every stage you need Guru's kripa. So that is why you depend on him and take shelter of him. So Mataji, answer to your question is that if you maintain independence even for 1 second, Maya comes and make you to do aparadha and you fall down. There is no prayaschitta for that. There is paschatapa. Paschatap means once you fall down and when you resolve that where I was, from Himalayas I felt again in Patala, where I was and where I fell down, then you cry. And then paschatapaha, tapaha means heat. Feel that heat, cry and beg for the mercy of Guru. Oh Guruji, I have done this aparadha. Please give me one more chance. Give me your shelter. That is the only thing that is left. Doing, it's called Karuna Krandana. Krandana means crying for compassion. And when you cry for compassion, Guruji automatically, the manifestation of love is in the form of compassion. One of the gunas of prema is compassion. He automatically gets compassion and then he takes into your shelter again. But there is no prayaschitta. I do this, I chant 16 more rounds, so I get back into bhakti. It does not happen. Once you do aparadha, you're gone forever. Only Guruji's compassion will get him back to you. And that happens if you cry for compassion. Guruji, I did a great aparadha. I became very arrogant and I depended on my own strength. I did not realize that all that I got is because of your mercy. I did not realize. I was boasting that I got all this because I am chanting since so many times. I am a good chanter. I am a good Bhagavata reader. I was thinking all these things. No, none of this worked. What worked is your Krupa. And without little bit of Krupa I get from you, and I became, I got some sadhana, and then I became arrogant, and then suddenly I lost everything, Guruji. From now onwards, I will not make this mistake. I will always be under your shelter. And please receive me once again, and then engage me in your seva. And Artha Bhavana. That Paschat Tapa can only save you, not Prayaschitta. So you have one thing that you have to be very careful is that because the very nature of bhakti is to please your Guru, never ever become independent and never ever move away from that dasatva and do any activity which creates aprasannata your Guru.
I have to ask one more thing. This is what I really have to do. Because you were talking about ISKCON, you too. What was Srila Prabhupada's idea that he made ISKCON, like sadhana and institution, and in the end, you actually don't get the result, you don't get bhakti and things like that. How can I understand?
You are asking a delicate question to me. The
Yeah.
problem that happens is that if you ask about something and if I say the truth, then if you really have attachment for that person, it will hurt you. You think that I am doing offense against for somebody you have attachment. So generally I ask people, please ask me questions without taking the names. Because if you take the name and then I show the fault in that person, then what will you feel? I'm showing fault with the person whom you love or whom you have faith.
I mean, we can give him credit that without Prabhupada, we would not find out about
I'm telling you,
bhakti.
even I give credit to Prabhupada because a modern person, modern educated person like me can be attracted only to this kind of modern institutions, preaching institutions, who hammer your head, who brainwash you, and somehow the moment you enter into the temple, they are waiting when they can take the knife and shave your head, and then put tilak on you, hand over a bead bag to you, and a Bhagavad Gita. They are like brainwashing you in such a way that there is no escape for you. You have to accept it. And if you don't accept, you feel like greatest sinner on the earth. They will brainwash you like that because their purpose is to spread the mission everywhere. Right? Not to liberate somebody. Gita in every household. Bead bag in every household. This is their mission. Not to, because they themselves do not know. Not a single person in ISKCON knows Tattva. I will write to you. If they know, then they will go like rocket, as I told you. Gunarahitam Kamana. Shh. They will be engrossed in life. They will not be in Prajalpa fighting whose GBC, it is Ritvik system or this system, this GBC. And people are snatching away, take Diksha from my guru. And if you go to another guru, then you are a blooper, vendor, something. All this nonsense will not happen. If you are interested in other person's, well-being or upliftment.
Mm.
So the basic thing was that it started as a mission to globally spread in all these things. And can I speak? Can I say, give the answer, clear answer?
For me, yes. For
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Yes. So basically, in ISKCON, the reason why I left ISKCON was because it is fundamentally flawed in philosophy. There is no way a jiva can fall from Vaikuntha.
Mm-hmm.
This body has what? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Please listen carefully this aspect. My body is producing desires. Kama. If the Kama is fulfilled, I get Lobha. If the Kama is not fulfilled, I get Krodha. Then whatever things I accumulate for the fulfillment of my Kama, I develop attachment for it. For example, if a car is in the showroom, I don't have an attachment. If some bomb falls on it, nothing happens to me. But the moment I purchase, even if somebody touches it, I get very angry. I develop attachment for it. This is called as attachment. The moment you acquire something, you get attached to it. So this is called as moha. Then the more you accumulate, you become very proud. You see, I have this car. I am better than that person. You develop arrogance, mada. And when you see somebody else having more than you, you become envious. I have only ordinary thing, Volkswagen, and he has a BMW. I'm giving gross example. So these are the 6 qualities that you have. And here your only pleasure principle is to please yourself. And then in Vaikuntha, you have a spiritual body which is made up of prema. You do not have this material body. And this spiritual body which has prema, because its only tendency is to give pleasure to Sri Krishna and take pleasure from it. There is no personal pleasure. Kama is not there. If Kama is not there, I told you mada or enviousness will be produced only if you have Kama in it. Kama becomes Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. If you don't have Kama, there is no Matsarya. So it is foolish, according to Shastric wisdom, to think that in Goloka you become envious of Krishna and you fall down. They don't have any personal Kama. They live for the sake of pleasure of Krishna. How can they give enviousness? Matsarya comes from Kama. I established it. You got the point, know that? So these simple facts they do not know because they have not studied it any from a Shrotriya Guru. If you know little bit of Shastra, you understand it. And then they say you already have a Swarupa, which is covered. How a Swarupa can be covered by Maya? A Swarupa, if I have a Swarupa, it has an identity, it has prema. It will be engaged in service of Krishna. I don't have Swarupa. I now exist as an atomic particle, which does not have a Swarupa. Because it does not have a Swarupa of prema, it doesn't have any identity. So it does not know that I am an Amsha of Krishna, that Chitkana. But in ISKCON, they say that you already have a Swarupa, which is covered by Maya. When Maya is revealed, your Manjari Deha is also revealed. This is the greatest foolish argument. You don't have, if you have a Swarupa, automatically you will have an identity. For example, you have a form, no, Swarupa. Automatically you know that she is your wife, she is your son. Only when you do not have form, then you will not recognize any of them as an atomic particle. So the foundation, the whole foundational philosophy of ISKCON itself is wrong. Then after that, when you don't know whether you have a Swarupa or not, when you don't know how to cultivate prema, right? What sadhana will you do? Tell me. So there is no understanding. When you have understanding, that understanding leads you to sadhana. For example, if you know what is music theory, there are 7 notations. These are the chords, and these are the chord progressions, major, minor, pentatonic. If you know all these things, then you can compose music. No, you can create music. If you don't know anything, how can you compose music? So knowledge is necessary. For example, somebody is a mechanical engineer, or Vrindavan is a mechanical engineer. He should know all the laws of mechanics in order to create something. If the theory itself is flawed, how can you produce anything? Sadhana. That is why I was saying that Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. First, you should hear it. Then you digest all this knowledge. When doubts are zero and you know theory perfectly, then you can enter into sadhana. Because in ISKCON, right from the top, nobody knows what is sadhana, nobody knows what is the condition of jiva and all those things. Obviously, nobody will be produced there. Not a single person is produced. It has conquered the whole world, but not a single sadhak is produced. This is the reason. And there are many other, I can give you hundreds of reasons, but let us have this small, if you can grasp it, then this much is enough for you. Why this institution fails?
Paul Prabhupada bi ukrivali njegove disciples?
Some say that Prabhupada could not give so much because he had to give something to very low class people, So he gave basics, and his disciples distorted this, completely.
I'm training Govinda. Govinda will never destroy. He has attended only few classes of mine. You ask him questions, you see the way he will answer you all these things. It's a student is never at fault. It is the teacher who is at fault. It is the teacher who must give these are all justifications we give. We are for example, somebody is a bad person and you have attachment for them. Let us say, I'm not saying Prabhupada is bad. I'm just giving an example. If you have attachment for that person, you will always give justification for that person. No. This person has a past traumatic background, because of which he's stealing all these things. Otherwise, he's a nice person. But others are saying, Are Baba, let him in trauma or whatever he maybe have. But he stole something from my house. Shouldn't he go to jail? Others will say. But you will say, no, try to understand. He had this background. This is a justification that disciples give. He gave everything, but we ruined it. It's not like that. It doesn't happen with Gauranga Mahaprabhu, that he gave, but Rupa Goswami did not pick up. Rupa Goswami gave, but Jiva Goswami did not pick up. Srila Jiva Goswami gave, but Narottama Das Thakur did not pick up. It doesn't happen like that. If he has, he will pass on to somebody and go. And you will not have it. There is no university in the world where 100% are failures. You go to the dirtiest, lowest university in Slovenia, there will be somebody who passed out with good marks and go out and do benefit for the society. Even the lousiest student will produce some engineers, some doctors. What to speak about Harvard, where the percentage of production of scientists or whoever lawyers is 100% there. But you go to the lousiest, somebody will be produced. Even if you use the telescope and see, you will not find anybody in ISKCON who knows how to cultivate prema out of nama. This is because the basis is wrong. Many other things, hundreds of examples I can give you why it is wrong. But this much is enough.
Yeah, can I? Putting this all together, there's a story of one disciple from France of this Srila Prabhupada. Disciple, he was sannyasi in his time, and then he fell, and he went out again and did a lot of crazy stuff again. but at the end he got sick, and again he got in contact with devotees. And at the moment of his departure or death, just before, he said, "Oh, Prabhupada, you came for me," and then he left the body.
You know, this cannot, these stories I cannot any comment.
Yeah.
Is it its hallucination, or he was drugged at that time, or he was a psychopath, or is it really seeing? I cannot give any answer to this. No, these are the stories which cannot be verified. It can be anything. There are many devotees in ISKCON who were drug addicts, and because they were drug addicts, it's nature to project things in whatever they hear, they project. And then when we were walking on the streets, when I was with ISKCON, when we walk, they used to say that I'm seeing Mahaprabhu on the wall. He's saying hi to me. He's saying chant more to me. He was a drug addict. Others told me. So he's such an elevated devotee. I was thinking like that. No. He goes into drugs, and when he's taking drugs, whatever he's thinking at that time, it keeps on repeating the same thing. That is why rock musicians, all these people take drugs, so that once they go on to the stage and they start playing, and they say play such lead guitar that you will be mesmerized. How is he playing like that? It was, so that is the effect that it has. So we cannot, these stories, we cannot verify them. So I don't want to talk about something which is verified. Is it because of psychopath? Is it saying like that? Is it guilt which is making him say that? Because he's guilty that he left Prabhupada and he did all sinful activities. Maybe he's trying to project this to redeem himself in the eyes of other people. Is it coming out of that guilt consciousness or psychological condition or from the trauma? All these have or drugs, all these have the possibility of projecting. I think understand projecting images, it keeps projecting. I don't go by that. I don't go pure theory. I'm a Shastri. I believe in Shastra. I studied Shastra. So I go by Shastra and then by sadhana, which is given by Sri Larip Goswami and Bhakti Rasam Sundar. These are the sources for me. All these hearsays are not for me. And this is like an opium. Like Karl Marx said, no, religion is an opium of the masses. These kinds of the stories are the opium people take to survive in them. Not to see the truth, because they cannot digest the reality that everybody failed in this institution. So they take some dope, opium, these stories like this, and then pushing themselves to carry on in the institution. I hope what you understand what I mean. It is in this sense Karl Marx said religion is an opium, because they don't face the dirty reality around them. They use religion to live in some other world, not in the real world.
Okay.
Thank you very much. We had like hour and a half. Shall we take a break for today?
Yeah. Whenever you have any
Or
doubts
how
or you
much?
feel like discussing, you can tell Govinda. Then we will organize. This time is best for me. Around 8 o'clock is best for me. We finish all our sevas so that we can meet and carry on.
Okay.
Okay. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Very good.